Welcome to the set of Diriliş Ertuğrul and Kuruluş Osman. We're finally here. The entrance is sold. So finally made it over here. It's taken about 1 hour and 40 minutes. I'm super excited because as you drive into this area, into the Bozdak Films production area, you get to see all of you see the set, you see like the castle, you see the palace, you also see the Kayi Tribe, which I'm walking towards right now. And we have some really nice guy over here that welcomes us. And then now we're gonna be walking towards the tour guide who's gonna explain everything. Okay, so we're entering into the Kayi Tribe. So this is a treat like that ice cream up there, you know, to finally be over here. Been watching this show for like 4 years. Diriliş Ertuğrul, obviously, it came out in 2014, but the first episode I ever watched was in 2020. And it was like a revolutionary show for me. I think that for the world, you know, because of the message that it had. And to be walking into the tribe, to be walking into such a legendary set. You know, you can't describe it in words. So let's see what we have in store for you. Continue watching the video because this is going to be a comprehensive guide with regards to coming to the Diriliş Ertuğrul and the Kuruluş Osman set. Well, I finally made it to Kayi Obasi, which is the Kayi Tribe. So this is how it looks like in real life. So this is the main tent, and this is how we're going to start the tour over here as we come into the Kayi Tribe. So hopefully we go inside and we see Osman Bey sat on the chair.
So we are going to regroup until all of the group come here.
Okay. And I can hear Osman Bey's voice as well. Oh, this is the one.
So Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Okay, so this is part of the tent over here, and you've got all of these figures. Someone with a shield here. Like a family model here as well. Looks really cool. So here we have Osman Bey's costume that he wears in the show. And we also have Osman Bey's chair as well. So this one is Bala Hatun's costume as well. So in this section over here, you get to see some jewelry over here. You've got like necklaces, and you've got some rings as well. And you've also got like a bracelets here as well. So the design looks amazing. So this one over here is Mahun Hatun's costume, and then you have Bamsi Bey's costume over there. So first we go into the carpet factory, and then we go into the coloring of the wool factory, and then we go into the Shifahane, which is like where the medicine and everything was made in the show by Ertugrul. This is where they dye all the wool and then obviously make the carpets here. So this is how it was done multiple centuries ago and how it would have been done like in the 13th century. But it's really cool because in those days, if you look at the actual Turks that were living in these sort of like yurts or in these tents, it would have been of this design, of this size, and this would have been their home, essentially. So this is another tent here, which is empty. Now the cool thing about this tribe is that it gives you a depiction of how it would have looked like when people lived in tribes. So it wasn't only the Kayi tribe, there were many tribes. Like the Turks had multiple tribes, like you have the Konuk tribe and you have various others. And how people lived in tribes, even how the Arabs lived in tribes during the time of Prophet ﷺ, And there's been multiple tribes, even Mongolians lived in tribes. So it's always nice to have a look or have an idea of how it looked like, because sometimes in historical books, it's a little bit difficult to kind of picture it in your mind. So this is where Ertugrul Bey would have been operating from in terms of the Shifahane, where when the Alps would get injured, sometimes when Ertugrul Ghazi himself or Osman Ghazi.
Yeah.
Okay, let's you go to the tent. We are going to there and I will explain something. You follow him, I will come back.
So this is the entrance to the tribe. So when you watch the show, you see like the people from other tribes or even from their own tribe like entering into the tribe. So they do so from there. And one of my favorite scenes is when Ertugrul Ghazi in season 4 when he comes back. People thought that he was dead, and then he comes through here. That scene was amazing. So we are in Hanli Pazar, and look at this. All the costumes here. Oh my. We have the Ottoman emblem over here. I think I'm gonna buy this. Take this to my house. You also have like the Kayi Tribe flag over here. The Zulfikar sword. Oh. This is very important. If you want to know about any battle, 1071 Malazgirt, Sultan Alparslan, he brought the Muslims into, or the Seljuks into Anatolia. I have some gold coins. Bring back gold coins. This is real money. This is real money. Not fake money like today, fiat currencies. I don't believe in it. This is the sword of Osman Bey. The sword of justice. This is not an actual sword, actually. This one's actually a model because when they are recording with this, it's not meant to be heavy because they are just swiping, you're swinging this around the whole day. So it's kind of difficult to hold this. But yeah, it's amazing. Love seeing swords. We have more of these hats here as well. Let's see. I don't know if this is for the child, but I'll try this on. Haven't worn one of these for a couple of years now. And you've got the Kayi rings too, that they wear like this. So over here we have Osman Bey's costume with the turban. And when you come into this room, you have more costumes. So here you have a myriad of costumes. So this is another one I personally like. I think this design is amazing. And as I've said before, maybe if you've watched some of my videos in the past, I often speak about how people of old would just wear clothes that look, or made them look majestic. And they'll look majestic, then they would be really humble with it. Nowadays, people wear clothes that, it's like a t-shirt or something like that, and they've kind of got like an inflated ego. So it's kind of funny how that works out. But yeah, these clothes really are amazing. I've seen this design as well. I think when I've seen Osman Bey doing some blacksmith stuff, you know, hitting the swords, I've seen him wear this. I've seen him wear this one as well. I really like this design too, this blue one. You know, he looks like a proper Bey with this. So there's a main restaurant over there where you can have your lunch, which we are going to be having later on, which comes with this tour package. But there's also a small restaurant here. A lot of people may not be aware of it, so do look out for it or do ask one of the tour guides because it's right in the middle of the tribe and it's much more cozy and it gets sutlaç over here, which is a Turkish dessert, and you get Turkish tea as well. So I'm really glad that I've come over here and that the tour guide, one of the guides over there told me about this. He said that don't sit in the restaurant, just come over here for now. So, and also we was actually sat here with one of the Alps from the show and it's really cool. You can actually have sutlaç whilst he sat opposite you and you're actually looking at the Alp in the Alp costume. So this sutlaç is a Turkish rice pudding and one of my favorite desserts. Bismillah. That is yummy. Sweet, but it's delicious. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to show you some more of the tribe over here. So you've got a well here, obviously to get some water out. This is kind of a cool place too. You'd see often in the show that when the children or even some of the Alps, when they're kind of getting ready for war, they're going to be, doing some target practice in terms of archery. So that happens over here. So it's quite surreal to be walking on this set because the way that they've designed it, it really looks like you're back in time. You're back in the 13th or the 14th century because Osman Ghazi, his reign really began in 1299. Obviously, in the first few seasons, it was before that time. So right now we are in front of Osman Bey's tent, and I'm just going to give you some information regarding this tour. So I went on to Istanbul.com. You can also do like a simple Google search, but if you don't want to do that, I'm going to put the links in the description box below. So what you do is, there's a company where for 80 euros per person, they give you, so you get picked up from Sultan Ahmet, Bilgin's Leather and Fur Store, or they can pick you up from like Taksim Square as well. So at 9:45, you want to get there, you want to be there at Sultan Ahmet area. By 10 o'clock, you want to be at Taksim Square, depending on where you want to go or where you want to be picked up from. Then they bring you all the way over here to the set, which is in the Asian side, and then it's past Beykoz. It takes you about 1 hour and 40 minutes to get over here. Now, with this tour, you get picked up, brought over here, you get lunch over here, you have an English-speaking tour guide, and then you also drop back off. When you're over here on this tour, you have 2 sections to this tour. So one is, so when you come to the set, they bring you to Kayi Tribe, to Kayi Obasi. That's the first part of the tour. So you get to see how the tribe looks like. And they go into great description as to how it looks like, and also take some pictures and even do like a short film, apparently with one of the Alps that's in Dirilish Ertugrul for about $200. If you want to do that, I didn't really go ahead with that one. And then there's a second part of the tour. After lunch, they take you to the wider places like Inegol Castle. They take you to Yenişehir, they take you to Söğüt and to other places as well. So that's the second part of the tour. And then you have free time to roam around, to look at the tribe yourself. And there's some shows that happen. So all of that for 80 euros. And I think that that's a bargain. I really do. And I think that they do it all for you. Like, bearing in mind that they pick you up, they drop you back, English tour guide. You also get to see the sets with someone along you. So I'll put the link in the description box, and do let me know in the comment section whether you are a fan of Dirilish Ertugrul or Kuruluş Osman or both of them. And also do let me know whether you are willing to come over here. Also let me know if you've already been here and how your experience was. For me so far, I'm just really happy. It feels surreal to be here because this is my favorite TV show series ever. So I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comment section, and do comment in the comment section if you have any questions. So I finally get the opportunity to sit in one of the tents because the bay is not around, but this looks amazing, the way it's been designed. So one thing the tour guide was saying is that to design these tents, and I was thinking it might take a bit longer than this, but he said it only takes about 90 minutes to design these tents that we see here all around the tribe. And there's also a section where they are preparing a new set of a tribe where there's tents. I think it's going to be for the Mongolians, because what the tour guide is saying is that that's going to be used for the new season of Kuruluş Osman, which they are going to be filming in the next 2 months' time. So that's happening right now. But to produce these tents only takes about 90 minutes, which is really, really impressive. So the very first scene of Dirilish Ertugrul starts with this. It's Ertugrul Ghazi and Deli Demir, one of my favorite characters from Dirilish Ertugrul. So they're just like, hitting the metal to make the sword. So this is the blacksmith's area. And look at this. You've got these being prepared over here. Perhaps part of the armor for the soldiers that go into battle, or for the Alps as well. You've got the swords over here. Obviously, this is where the swords are going to be built. Look at that. There's another thing that they would do. They would like burn this and then hold it with this. All you need some real strength for this. Yeah, that's really cool. So this is the area where they're going to burn it, you know, because look, you've got the coal over here. And this is the thing about this tribe. It's like you look around and it seems as though you've gone back in time. And you look at how simple people's lives were in those days. Like this would have been a reality. So this restaurant is called Söğüt, $12.99. They asked us to come here for $1.30 for lunch. And this comes as part of the tour. This table is prepared for you as you walk over here. So do thank me in the comment section if you're going to come over here, because I've actually shared with you a really cool company, a tour company that gives you all of this, that prepares you with, look, desserts are here. I think some soup is going to be coming. You've got ayran over here. You've got some like water here. You've got some salad over here. You've got a lemon there. You've some breads over there. And you've got the dessert there. So right here, they've brought the main meal. So you've got chicken here, you've got rice, and you've got some chips over here as well. So that goes with the desserts and the salad as well. So I'm really happy with this, and I'm sure this is going to be more than enough to keep going with the tour after this. The food over here is of such a high standard, like the chicken and the rice. It's one of the nicest rice that I've had this calendar year. Like I've really enjoyed the rice, and I've really enjoyed the food on this Istanbul tour, but this rice is by far the best. The chicken is delicious, and they've also just brought some soup over here. So this is the lentil soup, and bismillah. Even this is delicious as well. This is really nice. So right now we are going into the Constantinople arena. So one of the seasons, I think it might have been season 4, the beginning of it, and Osman Ghazi, he goes to Constantinople. Obviously, we know that there is a hadith of Prophet ﷺ which says that Muslims shall conquer Constantinople. So it was one of the goals of the Ottomans from the very beginning, and even before the Ottomans, to conquer Constantinople. And Osman Ghazi is the first Sultan, but the 7th Sultan, Fatih Sultan Mehmet, in 1453, 154 years after the formation of the Ottoman Empire, was able to achieve that prophecy. But in one of the seasons, in the beginning, he comes to Constantinople and he tries to save the Constantinople emperor at the time. And so I remember he comes into the castle, he comes into this arena, he just jumps out, and then they break out into like a fight. And it gets kind of nasty. The Vikings are there. There are people that are trying to cause political turmoil. And a lot of this is about trying to get power, but this is where it takes place. And it was really impressive to see. Now, the thing is, when you're watching it in the actual series, it looks huge. It looks really grand and massive. Here, it doesn't look as massive. Like what the tour guide was saying is that they use a digital zoom. So if you're pushing forward with your camera, it's as though like it's zooming towards you at the same time. And also they're using wide angle lenses. That's how much I kind of know about filmmaking. So they use some optical illusions to make it look much more grand, but it is impressive. This is the depiction of Constantinople, essentially. Okay, guys, so I'm going to show you the entrance to Söğüt. Now, I've been to the actual Söğüt about 2 years ago to see the blessed grave of Ertugrul Ghazi. But this is how Söğüt would look like in the 13th century, the beginning of the 14th century. You also got the goats out here. You've got the wood. You've got a masjid here. So there's one scene over here where Bamsi, he's like, Ertugrul Ghazi's not so happy with him, and he's like around here, and someone tries to harm Gunduz. They get into like a little bit of a fight, and then Bamsi kind of gets, a sword put through him. This is the little church that they have here as well. In season 5, this was quite an important building. And this is the most important bit I'm going to show you right now. Okay? So this is the bit where whenever the council takes place, when Osman Ghazi or even Ertugrul Ghazi before him, the council will take place over here. Let's have a look. This is where they would park the horses. Over here. And then this is the main bit here. This is the coolest part. This is where the caravanserai is set. And also, important decisions are made over here. Sometimes you have a scrap between the Mongols and the Ottomans. Sometimes you have a scrap between the Ottomans and the Byzantines. Sometimes the Byzantines and the Mongols are conspiring to get the Ottomans. You have the kitchen in the back over there, which is here. This is really cool. So the kitchen's here. They've got all of the fruits and vegetables here. And they also have a trapdoor here as well. Look at this. So a couple of times, some sinister people have gone through this trap and have tried to like bomb the area and almost taken the life of one of the beys at the time to cause political turmoil. And over here, when you're here, you can see the room where Ertugrul Ghazi or Osman Ghazi, they would be in that room, behind closed doors, making some plans. So all in all, I'm really happy to be in this room because this is one of the most important rooms in the whole of this set, you know. Because key decisions are made over here, especially in the era of when they were in Söğüt. Okay, let's continue. Now there's another door here, which you can go towards, and then it opens up more. Like, look how vast this area is. It's super vast. And look at this, the goats are here. It's really nice. They weren't here before. I can see quite a few of them. Look at this. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm just going to show you a quick highlight of everything. So these are further extensions of shops. You have perhaps like a clothing store here, some more stores here, and you have this area here as well. So look at that, all the animals are there. Just amazing to be on such a prominent set, just on your own actually, you know? This is also one of the areas that's used in the series. When the Vikings were in the series, there was one of the Vikings lady in there, and she was pretending to be part of the tribe, but then she was actually kind of trying to spy, you know? And I'm not gonna go in the back entrance, but sometimes you do see in the series, they go behind over there, and then they wanna like try to get someone in illegally into Söğüt. They do so from the back, and there's some scraps going on and everything like that. But yeah, this is super impressive because this is perhaps the largest part of the set where there's like a lot of things happening. There's a lot of character to it. It gives you a glimpse of how the markets, how the stores, how the shops, how commerce would have been in those days, 8 centuries ago. So I really like the depiction that they've done over here. They've really paid attention to detail, and they've done a magnificent job. And just for this set alone, I think it's worth coming to this set because you've got a tribe. The tribe in itself is a treat. Coming to Söğüt is a treat. Going to Inegol is a treat. All of these places are just immensely well prepared. And when you watch it in the show, you know, that's where the magic happens. And you can see why it looks so good as it does, because you see it in person, it's flawless. This is the Konya Castle that is used in the Diriliş Ertuğrul as well as the Kuruluş Osman series. And when I went to Konya about a couple of years ago, I tried to look for this castle or for this palace, and it's actually underground. So there was like some excavation works that are currently being done to kind of like bring as much of it out as possible. So I'm kind of looking forward to what happens when I go to Konya next time, inshallah. One of my favorite cities, and you can also check one of my videos to Konya in the liquor bath. And what's also super impressive is that this is Inegol Castle here, okay? So this is from the outside. This is like the biggest or the largest structure that they have in terms of castles. And what the tour guide was saying is that it only took them about 5 weeks to construct this. So that is super impressive, like 5 weeks. So they work really fast. They are super efficient. And even the materials that they use, even though it's used as a set, the materials are really impressive. Like it still has like this solidity to it. In addition to this, we've also seen Söğüt, which is Söğüt over there. And that is like the largest area possible. Like it's got the shops. It just looks like you're back 8 centuries ago and you're living in that time. It really does feel like that. Like, where else can you go on the planet? Like, where else can you go? Apart from maybe if you go to Mongolia and you go to like some of the primitive people that live there, you know, with the yurts and with the tents and everything, where else can you go on the planet where you get a depiction of how the world looked like 8 centuries ago? But this is the closest that I can think of a place that you can go to that really remodels how it would have looked like 8 centuries ago. And that alone is worth for you to come over here. And in addition to that, just the fact that, you know, it's got links to the Ottoman Empire, it's got links to 2 of the most popular series that we've seen in the last 10 years in Turkish history. So I'm just so glad that finally got the opportunity to come here. So this is Kulucahisar Castle, and this was taken over by Osman I in the year 1285. And I think this castle you would see in the first season of Kuruluş Osman. And the conquest of this castle is significant because it marks the first conquest by the Ottomans. So although it wasn't officially the Ottoman Empire if it's 1285, because the Ottoman Empire began in 1299, but the founder of the Ottomans, Osman I, was able to take over this castle. So it's quite a significant place. And this set over here is really impressive, like from outside coming in, it's super impressive. Welcome to Inegol Castle. This belongs to Ayah Nicola, but then it was taken over by the glorious Ottoman Empire. Now, I'm not going to act like a Byzantine, but if you want me to infiltrate, I shall do so wearing this mask. And this is where Ayah Nicola was probably going to sleep before he would make like some sort of evil plan that wouldn't really work in the end. So there's quite a few places where you can come and have some drinks, ice cream, some snacks, and it keeps you refreshed, it keeps you going, especially when the heat's like today. So this one I kind of mixed pistachio with Italian caramel. Tastes really good. So in about 5 minutes at 4:30, there's going to be a show, and we've been told to stand over here. There's going to be a show. You got Alp over here. So there's going to be a show here where they're going to show some fight demonstrations, maybe some horse riding. I'm kind of looking forward to what's going to be shown. So yeah, I'm quite excited about this.
Sadakallahul azim. Hazır mısınız? Evet. Bak nasıl oluyormuş işte. It's wonderful. Yani evinize hoş geldiniz diyoruz. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to say one by one, welcome to the Bozdağ Plateaus, welcome to your own house, welcome to Türkiye. Biz hakkına gönül veren yiğitleriz. Sayılmayız parmak ile, tükenmeyiz kırmak ile.
show, the last show of the day was at 4:30, and it was amazing. Like they showed some displays of, the Alps coming on horses, and then later on having a little, tuggle, a little battle together, one-on-one. And then they showed like one person that kind of looked like Osman Bey, and then they're fighting one another. They're doing a bow and arrow. They're kind of like, some of the Alps are just like bending over, and then a couple of guys are just jumping on top and then just doing the arrow. It's a really cool display. I really enjoyed it. I really liked some of the small risks that they took to kind of, give us a spectacle. So that show was the icing on the cake. Like it was literally ending with a bang. So absolutely amazing. Now it's time to go home. So as I said, the coach is gonna take us back to Sultan Ahmed and drop us off. So all in all, I'm gonna say this is a 5-star experience. And I think I would like to come here again at some point. That's how much I enjoyed myself today.